One of the fruits of this delusional idea is that Joseph was a young man, and now we have images here that we're putting lines over because they're not canonical, they're not orthodox, they're properly understood as heretical. So if you have an icon like this, you're an Orthodox Christian, anybody who's out there listening, if you have an icon where it's showing Joseph as a young man and they're the ideal family, this is not holy tradition. This is not the Orthodox faith. This is not what's come down to us in all of the various texts, the Synaxaria, and all of the patristic witness is not that Joseph was a young man at all. And you'll see, and you'll hear momentarily quite a bit. But this image has never been a part of the positive faith in the Orthodox Church. A young Joseph embracing the mother of God as if they had a family like all the other families on the face of the earth. This is not the case. This portrayal appears to have come from the time of the Renaissance in the West and is entirely unknown and without any witness in the Orthodox Church from the ancient church until today. It continues to hold a prominent place in contemporary Catholicism. In fact, they have a feast day dedicated to the Holy Family. Now, I'm indebted a little to some of the portions from John Sanidopoulos' article on this. There's also another article that I also found on John Sanidopoulos' website, which I'll cite a little bit later. So I'm quoting these larger blocks of text here in white from that article, and you can find that as well on his website. He's got a number of websites. I'm not sure which one this is. I think it's just his name, johnsanidopoulos.com. And he says the following, which is very helpful. The main reason Orthodox iconography is more about imitation than innovation is to prevent heretical concepts from entering the church, since heresy can just as much be depicted in icons as written in books and proclaimed from the pulpit. All right, icons are a huge way that the faithful have learned the faith throughout the history of the church. We have many illiterate faithful. We have many people who throughout the history of the church did not have the the ability to go to school. And how did they learn the faith? Through icons. And those icons were put wall to wall in the church in order to catechize the faithful. So heresy can enter just as much in an icon as it can in a book or from the pulpit. And one such innovation in Orthodox iconography that began in America is the depiction of the, quote, Holy Family, showing Christ either in the arms of both Joseph and Virgin Mary or in the arms of Joseph alone. While such depictions may seem innocent, they in fact display a lack of attention to essential matters of Orthodox doctrine, right? Essential matters of Orthodox doctrine. All these little things, they end up being, we just saw that, right? We saw how little departures end up being massive departures, end up being massive delusions. There cannot be any compromise whatsoever in the Orthodox faith and in the all that pertains to the deposit that has been received by the saints. These are other versions of this same icon. There are tons of them online. I mean, there's just tons of them circulating, and many of them look like Orthodox icons. So apparently there are Orthodox people out there, or some schismatic groups, or maybe Roman Catholic groups that are painting icons of this quote unquote Holy Family. This portrayal undiscerningly promoted as a way to support the institution of the family. This was the big push. I think it's the 20th century. I think it's a very recent push in Catholicism. And we got to support the family. We got to support the family. Let's exalt Joseph, Mary, and the Christ child as the great holy example of a family. But that's not wise. It's undiscerning. It's never been done by the church for 2,000 years. We haven't looked to that. This is not your normal family. This is not a family like all the other families. So it is unfortunate that this has happened, but it is in harmony, unfortunately, with the newer Protestant delusion that after the birth of Christ, Joseph was young and in all ways a husband to Miriam. That's patently wrong. You'll see in a minute. Such depictions of the Holy Family are based on innovations of Catholicism, which has in modern times instituted a feast of the Holy Family, as we said. As one Roman Catholic scholar has remarked, in contrasting the Catholic feast centered on the Holy Family to the Christian feast of antiquity. This is a Roman Catholic scholar, and he says what? The Feast of the Holy Family is a product of our modern age, the times of which we belong. So they confess themselves this has no part, no place, was never witnessed to in antiquity or in any part of the Orthodox Church. In traditional Orthodox iconography, the Christ child is properly portrayed not alone with Saint Joseph, but rather alone with his mother, thereby stressing the dogma that he is a son without a father, who was begotten of the Father without a mother before the ages. All right, so from before the ages, eternally begotten of the Father without a mother. In terms of the economy of salvation, the incarnation, he is a son without a father, right? The virgin gave birth. There is no father in the incarnation. This is a virgin birth. Just realized I have the heretical icon of the Holy Family. What should I do now? Keep it in my prayer corner, take it down, or give it away? Yeah. Well, I don't think you should give it away because heretical things are not something you want to give as a gift to somebody. And you should take it down, and you should probably take it to your priest, and they could dispose of it with all the other holy things. I mean, it is images of the Lord and the Mother of God, Joseph. So you don't just throw it in the garbage, obviously. But at the same time, you don't keep it because it is misrepresenting and distorting the economy of salvation. So you don't want to venerate it. You want to keep it just like any other. There are icons out there by heretics. Gnostics have a big icon business, and I think in Oklahoma or in Nebraska, and they produce weird stuff. So, if you buy those icons and they're not representing the Holy Tradition, you don't want to have those in your prayer corner. So I would say, take it down, take it to your priest and say, would you please dispose of this with, and he has the holy things that are used in there. They burn occasionally. They have a place where they put all the holy things and they burn them. They don't, and then they bury them, or they find a way to dispose of them in a way that's respectful. But that's how you deal with those things when their time is up, or you don't use things anymore.